Good morning and welcome to Stroke of Genius podcast Survivor Experience. I'm your host, Aaron Avila, coming to you live at this time, 1 hour north of San Francisco in Santa Rosa, California. Today's topic is something I've been learning this whole 14 years of my stroke. It definitely has made a difference in who I am and what I'm accomplishing as a stroke survivor. When you see the difference in me or in stroke TV media, mind, what the battle is in your mind, it's the way you think. So let's get into it. Today's topic is the mind. So let's get to it. So, I wanted to make sure that you understand there's a major difference between your mind and your brain. Two totally different things. Picture it like this. The brain is the CPU or the computer of your life. It processes all the information. It processes your mind. It processes your heartbeat, your body. But it is not the mind. The brain is physical. You can touch it. Where the mind is not. It's an energy. And I wanted to tell you right now that the difference, if you get your mind right, to begin to understand your battling and stroke is in your mind, you will then understand that your mind, the way you think about stroke, is how you dictate your future. See, with your mind, the power of your mind, you can actually change your physical surroundings. In fact, Dwayne Dyer, a great spiritual man, said, change the way you look at things, and the things you look at will change. Let me repeat that because I want you to make sure you hear it. Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at will change. Meaning, change the way you look at things is saying, think about how it's your mind. It's how you look at things. You see with your eyes, but you look at things in your mind. Process how you think of things. So I want you to understand there is a big difference. I did a series. I'll put a link in the description of the video. Where the mind goes, the body will follow. I am nothing. I'm not where I want to be, but I sure am not where I used to be. So, my journey has really been one of the mind. In fact, I'm going to write a book someday before I die, if I go, write a book called Stroke, The Journey Within, because in our reality, it's your mind. It's the way your mind thinks. When you have a hard time with a stroke, have a hard time with your emotions, having a hard time keeping motivated, it's in your mind. It's a mind problem. It's not because you can't move your left arm because you're not walking. It's in your mind. So it's extremely important to understand the brain is not your mind. Really important. I want to tell you a little story. Let's see who's out there. I guess see you there. Hey, Bill Weed is out there. How you doing, bro? Great to see you out there, Bill. Thank you for being on there. Definitely appreciate that. Appreciate the support, bro. Bill is on View Stroke TV Media on YouTube. Go to podcasts. Stroke Virginia Scott podcast. I interviewed Bill on my show, on my podcast. But I think, primarily, I'm glad Bill's here because here's a guy that, and there's another guy. I get to my all-star supporters. They give me, there's Scott White for Georgia. And again, the great to have you guys out there. Really great, really great to see it because you're a prime example of my topic today. The battle against stroke is really fought in your mind. Bill Wade. I don't know why I just drew a line. Bill, he'd been through a lot. I had like 3 brain surgeries and been through a lot. And still has the attitude, I will walk one day. A prime example, Scott White told you he'd never drive again. Well, his mind said, I will drive again. Told by many doctors he would not drive. Well, his mind created a reality. First, had to get his mind right. He had to tell himself and believe he can drive again. And yes, it took some time. But because his mind was right, Scott White is now driving. Well, not right now. He got in an accident. He did not his fault. Let's be clear. But the point I'm trying to make, the reason I'm here today, is because my mind was right. I realized that don't let stroke lie to you. See, we're trained in our younger days that our bodies, the physical abilities, are what dictate who you are. And in reality, it's not true. That's a lie. It's your mind. It's your mind that will dictate your future. The way you think. You may think you can't drive. Well, look at Scott White. His mind's that good. Guess what he can do? He can drive. Bill Wade, not walking right now. Aaron Avila, I'm not walking right now. My mind says I will walk before I die. Guess what? I will walk before I die. I just really, I want to make sure you guys understand. There's so many people that interchange the two words, the brain and the mind, do different things. The brain can be physical touch, the mind cannot be. In fact, I've got a video to share with you. I'll share that video. And, really, this man, Joe Dispenza, is an amazing man where he has taken the mind, not the brain. He's going to explain to us what the difference is between the brain and the mind. Because they are your mind, people. Your mind, stroke survivor, is extremely powerful. So let me play this video of Joe Dispenza. Well,
on your life. So how many people actually woke up this morning and consciously created a future? The biggest reason why people don't do it is because you don't really believe it's true. You see, if you knew on a gut level that it was absolutely true, would you ever miss a day? And would you ever let any thought slip by your awareness that you didn't want to experience? So your brain, according to neuroscience, is organized to reflect everything you know in your life. Your brain is a record of your environment. It's a record, an artifact of your past. So if you then does your environment control your thinking, or does your thinking control your environment? So if you wake up in the morning and you get out of bed on the same exact side as you did the day before, you shut the alarm clock off with the same finger, You slip into your favorite slippers, you shuffle into the bathroom and you use the toilet like you always do. Then you walk over to the mirror and you look at yourself to remember who you are. Then you get into the shower and you wash yourself in the same routine way. Then you groom yourself to look like everybody expects you to look. Then you go downstairs and you drink coffee out of your favorite mug. Then you drive to work the same way as you did the day before. You see the same people that push the same emotional buttons. You do the exact thing that you know how to do and you memorize and can do so well that you're an expert at. Then you hurry up and rush home so you can hurry up and check your emails, so you could hurry up and go to bed, so you can hurry up and do it all over again. Now, here's my question. Did your brain change at all that day? We could say that you were thinking the same thoughts, performing the same actions that create the same experiences that produce the same emotions, but secretly expecting something to change in your life. So then, as the environment turns on different circuits in your brain, you begin to think equal to your environment. As you see the same people and go to the same places and do the same things at the same time, it's the external environment that's turning on.
I don't want to sound rude, but if you're still trying to make money online with things like e-commerce, affiliate marketing, real estate,
on different circuits in your brain, causing you to think equal to everything that you know. And as long as you think equal to everything that's familiar or known to you, what do you keep creating more of? Same life. Now, the quantum law is still applying to you. You're just thinking equal to everything that you know, and you keep creating more of the same. To change, to truly change, is to think greater than your environment. And every great person in history knew this, whether it was William Wallace or Mahatma Gandhi or Martin Luther King or Queen Elizabeth I or Joan of Arc. They all had a vision. They all had an idea. Couldn't see it, couldn't smell it, couldn't taste it, couldn't feel it, but it was alive in their mind. It was so alive in their mind that they began to live as if that reality was actually happening now. So can you believe in a future that you can't see or experience with your senses yet, but you've thought about enough times in your mind that your brain is literally changed to look like the event has already happened? Neuroscience says it's absolutely possible. Now, your personality creates your personal reality. That's it. It's that simple. And your personality is made up of how you think, how you act, and how you feel. So the present personality who's sitting here today, you, has created the present personal reality called your life. Would you agree? Would you also agree then, if you wanted to create a new personal reality, that on a fundamental level, you would have to change the thoughts that you are thinking, the behaviors and habits that you're demonstrating, and the emotions that you've memorized that's become part of your identity? And most people try to create a new personal reality as the same personality, and it never works. We have to become somebody else. So then, as you keep thinking the same thoughts, performing the same actions, and living by the same experiences that produce the same emotions, there's a principle in neuroscience that says nerve cells that fire together wire together. And if you keep repeating the same states of mind and body over and over again, your brain begins to fire in the same sequences, in the same patterns and same combinations. And whenever you make your brain work in a certain way, that's called mind. Mind is the brain in action. So as you remind yourself every day who you think you are, you're causing your brain to fire in the exact same ways. And as they fire and wire in the same patterns over time, the brain moves into a very finite signature, and that's called your personality. Now, that box in your brain isn't literally a box, but it's the most commonly wired, neurologically fired programs that run redundantly because we keep doing the same things over and over again. To change your mind, then, is to make the brain work in new sequences and new patterns and new combinations, to begin to make the brain work differently. And the one ingredient that allows us to do that is knowledge or information. Because every time you learn something new, you make a new connection in your brain. That's what learning is. Learning is forging new connections. Remembering is maintaining or sustaining those connections. So now, every time you have a thought, you make a chemical. And if you have a great thought or an unlimited thought or a joyful thought, you turn on a set of circuits in your brain that fires in a very specific sequence, pattern, and combination that produces a level of mind that turns on another part of the brain that makes a chemical for you to begin to feel exactly the way you were just thinking, great or unlimited or joyful. Now, if you have a negative thought or an unhappy thought or a self-depreciating thought, you turn on a different set of circuits and a different combination, a different sequence, and a different pattern that produces a different level of mind. And the brain then begins to make a different batch of chemicals that signals the body for you to begin to feel exactly the way you were just thinking, negative or unhappy or unworthy. So the moment you begin to feel the way you think, because the brain is in constant communication with your body, you begin to think the way you feel, which makes more chemicals for you to feel the way you think. And then you think the way you feel, and then you feel the way you think, and then you think the way you feel. And some people do this for 20 or 30 or 40 years. Now, the redundancy of that cycle over time creates what I call a state of being. And a state of being is when your mind and body are working together, or your thoughts and feelings are aligned to. The pineal gland has tiny little cilia, hair-like extensions all around it. When you hold your breath, a concept. So thoughts are the language of the brain, and feelings are the language of the body. And as people get caught in this cycle of thinking and feeling and feeling and thinking, over time, they condition their body to memorize that emotion as well as the conscious mind. And whenever the body knows as well as the mind, that's called a habit. A habit is when your body is the mind. Now, 95% of who you are by the time you're 35 years old is a set of memorized behaviors, set of emotional reactions, beliefs, perceptions, attitudes that run just like a computer program. So 5% of your conscious mind begins to work against 95% of what you've memorized. So the person wants to think positively, but they're feeling negatively. They want to create their dream board, and put up their future life, but they feel unworthy. That's mind and body in opposition. We have to recondition the body to a new mind. So how many people know someone who's memorized suffering? And you say to that person, hey, did you read the book I gave you? What do they say? No. Hey, listen, we're going to go out to dinner. We're going to go see some stand-up comedy. We're going to go for a walk along the water. You want to come? No. What do they say? I'm insisting on this neurochemical order that no person, no thing, no experience can move us from it. And we have these three brains to allow us to move into a new state of being. And the quantum field, universal mind, whatever you want to call it, responds to who you're being. Not what you're thinking, not what you're feeling, but the combination of how you're thinking and how you're feeling, called a state of being. Now, most people wait for what? Crisis or trauma or disease or loss or diagnosis to really want to change. They wait to the point where the ego is brought to such a low level that they cannot go on business as usual any longer. That's when we begin to look at how we're thinking or what we believe or how we act or our attitude or what emotions we're living by. And my message is, why wait? We can learn and change in a state of pain and suffering, which tends to be the human model, or we can learn and change in a state of joy and inspiration.
So I know that was pretty heavy. I mean, Joe Dispenza, I want to encourage each and every one of you, go to YouTube, look up Joe Dispenza, or subscribe to his YouTube channel, and watch. I'm going to give you the homework. Let me give you the homework. I want you to go to Joe Dispenza's YouTube channel, subscribe, and watch at least 3 videos of his. Won't you go down this amazing journey of discovering what mind is and the power you have over your stroke in your mind. It really is what changed me. It's really what has changed me. I'm going to share a video that really changed me also. And I want you to really understand that this way of thinking that you're about to see is the man that is now my personal friend. But I want you to see, I want you to see how his mind is working on success. This man is a global business celebrity, and his name is Jeffrey Hazelight. And I can remember laying there suicidal. Okay, we'll take that. Sorry, guys, take it down. I remember laying in my bed, suicidal, thinking my life was over. Because why? Because my brain, my physical body was ruined, was messed up because of stroke. But now reality, the way I was thinking was more messed up. We cannot do anything about what happened to us. We all had strokes. But we can control how we respond to stroke, and that's where the power of your mind comes in. So as you watch, I want you, as you watch the video, I want you to realize I was laying there in bed, half paralyzed, suicidal, and then a man named Jeff Hazlett came on the YouTube channel I was watching. I mean, I noticed when his mind is thinking different, he's thinking success. So I want to share this with you. Take a look at this video. Pretty amazing. I want you to talk about business, but what I want you to do is I want you to look at the mind, how his mind is thinking, and apply the way his mind is thinking to your stroke.
All my life, people have been laying down rules and telling me what I need to do or how I need to act in order to be successful. As if there's only one proven process for achieving success defined by someone else. I choose not to play that game. I've been a primetime TV host, best-selling author, public speaker, and a Fortune 100 CMO. I've worked from Main Street to Wall Street and bought and sold over 250 businesses in my career for billions of dollars. And I'm here to tell you, there's no substitute for hard work and originality. If you think this is another self-help book or another get-rich-quick book, don't buy it. I'm sick of the snake oil salesmen and the charlatans who package secrets and misrepresent good, old-fashioned hard work. It's called hard work because it's hard. I'm from South Dakota, a place most people only know on a map, a place with a hard work ethic and a can-do attitude. I've gotten to where I am because I've outworked the competition, used every bit of resources I could to muster, and refused to conform to business as usual. I do things because I can. It's that simple. When people tell you you can't, well, you can. It's really this simple. Think big, act bigger. Do that and you'll get the rewards of being relentless. I have a question for you. What will you do to make a difference? To be relentless. You see, it's the relentless, not the lucky, who win in the end. These are the people I admire the most and who I feature in my new book, Think Big, Act Bigger. Every time someone tells you you can't achieve something, or it won't work, or we once tried that once before, I want you to prove them wrong and rise above the odds, because you can. Think big, act bigger, and get the rewards of being relentless. Join me by going beyond the excuses, self-imposed limitations, and preconceived notions, and become the biggest, baddest version of who you are and what you want to be. Think big, act bigger. Thinking big and acting bigger is all about action and attitude, being fearless and bold, willing to put oneself out there, steamrolling the obstacles and ignoring perceived boundaries, and even being a little irrational. Pick up the book today. It's time to saddle up and ride. Join me, think big, and act bigger. It's time to take you and your business to the highest levels of success the world has to offer.
So it was, here I laid in my bed after suffered a brain aneurysm stroke. Half paralyzed, really felt like my life was over. And then I watched a video, totally transformed the way I was thinking about my stroke. I realized that success, our hopeful future, was based on my mind and the way I was thinking. I needed to think big, act bigger. And that's what I'm doing today. And I challenge you to not listen to what anybody, doctors included, tell you you'll never walk again. Your stroke has messed you up for life. You'll be the same way you always have been. I'm saying, if you put in your mind, I am going to walk, I am going to drive, you will. Scott White is proof of that. I'm walking a lot better than I am today, what I used to be. I am not where I want to be, but I'm sure not where I used to be. So I'm telling you, today's stroke survivor, if you change your mind, remember what Joe Dispenza taught us. If you change your mind, the way you think, it'll automatically begin to trickle over to your body. Why? Because where the mind goes, the body will follow. I want to encourage each and every stroke survivor out there today. Delve into your mind. If you want to know more about my journey, I will be more than happy to take some time and share with you what I've learned. It's all been inside game. It's all been in my mind. It's all been in how I perceive what happened. And I want you to know that you have the power to change your life today by changing the way you think. Join diet, like I said, our spiritual mentor of mine. So change the way you look at things, and the things you look at will change. If you change the way you're thinking, like Joe Dispenza said, start seeing your mind. So Bill Wade, me, walk in your mind, drive in your mind. Scott White, drive in your mind. Guess what? You will walk and drive someday. I'm just telling you, do not believe the lie of stroke. That you're not good enough, that you're not valuable, that you're not worthy, that you're a burden. Begin to shift your mind and the way you think. Get up in the morning, look at yourself in the mirror, tell yourself you are amazing. You are going to pull out the stroke and rise above it. Just like I just said. How can I do what I do? Because when somebody tells you can't do something, well, you can. It's really that simple. Why did Jeff see it so simple? Because Jeff changed his mind. He changed the way he thought. People tell us all the time as stroke survivors, we are stuck the way we are. People tell us all the time our physical body is the way it is. But when somebody tells you can't do something, you can. Why? How? Change your mind. Change your thoughts towards that. Do not buy in to the lie of stroke. Stroke was lied to you. It has lied to me for 14 years. I don't care what anybody says. Here's primary. I'm gonna show you the power of the mind right here. I will, not I may, I might, I will walk before I die. That's the Bill telling his mind is saying, you know what? He will. I believe him because he's telling that to his mind. Okay, well, it's amazing how fast time goes. Let's see, we're probably over time. I can't believe it. But I wanted to tell you guys, listen, I'm going to go a little over today. I'm sorry. So I'm going to put Joe Dispenza's link to his YouTube channel in the description of the video. Please subscribe to that. Go with me on Look at the Power of Your Mind. As a stroke survivor, it is your secret sauce. If I was to give one thing I wish they would teach all of our stroke survivors when we're in the hospital, it isn't trying to walk, it isn't how to move your left arm. I would want them right in the beginning to teach us about mindset and the power of our mind. Now it will change our stroke survival. I am telling you this day, right now, you could shift the way you think. And I promise you, it will shift your body. It will shift the environment. Hey, I'll also be wrapping up. I would also like to know if you'd like to see more of these podcasts on the mind. Type in the comments stroke #StrokeTV. Let me know and I'll do more in the future. Again, if you like the topic of the mind and how it relates to stroke, type in the comment section #StrokeTV. And I will do more in the future on the mind. Well, it's great. It's amazing. Time is well past overtime. I appreciate you guys coming. I got more on this topic. So I'm hoping if you ever want to discuss your mind, remember, we can do nothing about what happened to us. Nothing. We had stroke. But we can do everything how we respond. Just remember this truth about me. You actually have the power in your mind to change your reality. All right, everybody, have a great day. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it.
Set me on